Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. My name is Gideon and I am the founder and CEO of Buyapowa. Now, I want to talk about something we all desire: results. And not just any results, we're talking about game-changing, needle-moving, off-the-chart levels of engagement and ROI. How do we achieve that at Buyapowa? Well, it starts with rewards that aren't just good, but that are absolutely stellar. We're here to share how we ensure that our clients pick the best rewards for their marketing campaigns and to reveal a groundbreaking piece of research, which will teach you what people expect, what's going to deliver results, and what will set your marketing apart from everyone else's. Every generation responds to rewards in different ways. So, in addition to exploring trends around the world, we've also examined the difference between boomers, Gen Z, and everything in between. So why are we so obsessed with rewards and reward marketing? Well, it's what we've dedicated ourselves to for the last 10 years. We're firm believers that you should ditch your addiction to search and to social and leverage the greatest untouched acquisition opportunity across all areas of your business by releasing the raw power of reward marketing. We build, manage, referral, affiliate, incentive marketing programs for you, your customers, employees, brand partners, and influencers. We want to empower you to acquire more quality customers via one unrivaled and scalable reward marketing platform. Let's get real. Rewards and incentives aren't just frills anymore, they're business accelerators. A whopping 90% of marketing pros agree that well-designed reward programs are game changers for business outcomes. Let's take a look at some of the many impactful ways brands are using rewards across their business. Starting with employees. It's not just about empty platitudes, it's about tangible recognition. Nearly 70% of Gen Z and the cool kids would stick around at their jobs for an extra just $150 in rewards. Now that's impact for you. With digital rewards, you offer instant gratification and a boost to your company's culture. Next up, reward participation. Need survey participants? Want to get your recruitment game to the next level? Digital rewards are your golden ticket. They're a universal thank you that speaks volumes, driving higher engagement across the board. Next up, for new customer onboarding. The first impression lasts, and nothing says welcome aboard like tangible rewards. From banking to utilities, refer a friend and switcher programs armed with digital rewards are gaining real traction, and for good reason. They really work. Next up, driving reviews and testimonials. Let's not forget the power of social proof. About 89% of customers scour reviews before making a purchase. Incentivizing reviews with digital rewards not only shows appreciation, but solidifies your brand reputation. And for upselling and upgrades. Looking to move customers up the value chain? Customized incentives matter. Make your offers irresistible and watch customer loyalty grow exponentially. So, you might be wondering now, what sets Buyapowa apart when it comes to rewards? Well, it's not just our data-driven strategies or sector-specific expertise. It's our newly expanded reward catalogue for 2024, tailored to exceed every customer's expectations. Listen to these numbers because they are designed to captivate. Over 1,000 different rewards in our freshly updated 2024 catalogue. That's right, we've recently expanded to offer over 1,000 options, all meticulously curated to engage and delight your audience. Operating across 27 countries worldwide, from London to Tokyo, our global reach ensures that your campaign will resonate regardless of geography. Currency? We're fluent in all of them, whether it's dollars, euros or yen, we've got it covered. Localization isn't just a word for us, it's embedded in our very culture and operations. But yes, wait, there is more. Our versatile delivery methods are just as expansive. Bank transfer for those who prefer the tried and true, PayPal for the digitally savvy, prepaid cards for those who value flexibility, digital gift cards for immediate guaranteed satisfaction, and digital subscriptions for the content aficionados out there. So, as you strategize your next rewards program, let this sink in. Buyapowa's newly expanded reward catalogue for 2024 isn't just a feature, it is a game-changing competitive advantage. How do we decide which rewards and delivery methods to add to our catalogue each year? Well, research is a huge part of it. And here to reveal our latest research study is our worldwide brand and research leader, Robin Bresmark.
Thank you, Gideon. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin, Director of Brand and Creative here at Buyapowa. I couldn't be more excited to unveil the results of the biggest research project ever carried out into rewards and referral marketing. Why referral? Well, as I'm sure you know, the Buyapowa platform supports all kinds of reward marketing, from simple payout programs to partner, affiliate, influencer. The use cases are endless. But referral is where we made our name, and we are proud to be known as the global experts in the field. Having powered thousands of programs all around the world, our teams develops a great idea of what works and what doesn't work in all kinds of countries, all kinds of sectors, all kinds of industries, and for all kinds of demographics. But we've never conducted one big international study asking real people what they want to earn when they refer their friends and what's going to get them shopping when they receive a referral. Until today. Now, although this data focuses on referral rewards, that doesn't mean it's not useful for any kind of reward program. The fact that boomers in America want Paramount Plus gift cards, that is useful intel no matter what you do. We're going to be putting out a full report covering all our findings later this year, but just for you today, here's an exclusive first look at what we have learned. Let's start here, and this one surprised us, even us. People refer a lot. Right across the 4 generations we studied, Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, and Boomers, the vast majority of people have used refer a friend programs to recommend a brand, product, or service to their friends 2 to 5 times in the past year. Unsurprisingly, there's a few Gen Z pops who want nothing to do with it, but there are just as many who are really into it, referring more than 5 times. And there's a number of Boomers who are a bit more selective, only referring once. But once isn't nothing. And if you only take away one number from today, let it be this one. 95% of people have used a referral program to recommend a brand, product, or service to their friends in the past year. Sometimes even we here at Buyapowa think referral is something that sure, lots of people do, but it's not something everyone does often. This data suggests otherwise, that referral is very much a part of everyday life. It's not niche. It's not nice to have, it's absolutely rife, and it should be right there as a core part of everyone's marketing mix. So here we can see the flip side to referral, how often people receive recommendations from their friends. The numbers are a bit more compressed, but again, most people get 2 to 5 invitations every year. And the younger you are, the more likely you're to get lots and lots and lots, right? It's fairly unheard of for anyone to receive more than 5 invitations in a year, but it's also fairly uncommon for people to receive none at all, with fewer than a quarter of the people we spoke to saying they didn't receive any referral invites in the past year. So we know that referrals happening, but does it work? This chart shows how often referrals successfully lead to purchases or upgrades or subscriptions, transactions. As you can see, 95% of people have guided their friends to make at least one transaction in the past year. Boomers might have slightly less influence. Like millennials, they pretty much cap out at 5 successful referrals per year. But conversely, it's unheard of for Gen Z to draw a complete blank across a year. So if you can get those young'uns referring, it's basically a license to print money. So referral is happening and referral works. But while organic word of mouth is definitely a thing, we all like to tip our friends off to cool new brands and products. Rewards are fundamental to ensuring success. 3/4 of the people we surveyed said they'd be less likely to refer their friends if there was no reward on offer. That figure jumps into the mid-80s for Gen Z. Basically, you can forget it if you're not greasing their palms. Older people might still refer for kudos and altruistic reasons alone, but even then, the vast majority of people still expect a reward for sending their friends your way. And that's why you need a proper, well-managed referral program to track that word of mouth, reward it, and keep the referrals flowing. Is the flip side of that equation, does a lack of rewards stop friends from shopping? And OMG, do Gen Z still say OMG? OMG, there's your headline. Obviously, these charts make allowances for outliers and a margin of error, but it's as clear as it can be. Gen Z will not transact following a referral unless they receive a reward. They know how the world works. They were born into this world. They're not going to be fobbed off with the same offer they could just find by Googling. Now, again, things get a little less transactional for older generations. An impassioned recommendation from a friend might be enough to get them to pull out a credit card. But even then, if you scrimp on rewards, you are definitely undermining a very sizable source of potential business. So, we've looked at whether rewards in general make a difference, but here's where we get a bit more granular, asking people how often they were put off from referring because there was either no reward or it was uninspiring or inadequate. As you can see from those swathes of gorgeous Buyapowa lime green, it's my favourite one of our new colours. The vast majority of people across all ages said they found themselves in exactly that position more than once. They've been put off from referring because they were uninspired by the reward. They were going to do it, but the reward put them off. Now, if you think about referral and rewards all day long like I do, that is incredibly depressing because we've seen how people want to share and we've seen how friends want to shop. But uninspiring rewards, that's like walking into a store and finding there's no cashier ready to take your money. Now, while a good number of older people said they had referred in spite of poor rewards, like most young people said this had never happened to them, right? So just as before, if you want to get young people referring, you need to offer rewards, and those rewards have to be inspiring. And remember, young people aren't just a statistical block, they're a trend. They're getting older every day. They are what's next. So even if your brand or product skews to older customers, if you're going to pay attention to any generation, that is the one always to keep an eye on. Here's the flip side. Are referred in friends put off by bland rewards? And again, it is a warning shot to anyone who thinks they can run a one-sided referral program where only the referrer gets rewarded, or where friends are given the standard welcome offer any old customer would get just by turning up and looking at the homepage. Gen Z seem to bat away uninspiring referrals like they're swiping left in a kind of brand Tinder, like no, maybe. But even the older generations say they've turned their backs on referrals from friends because the brand didn't put their money where the customers' mouths were. All right, we've seen how important it is to offer rewards, and we've seen how essential it is to offer inspiring rewards to both referrers and friends. Here we've taken a look at what kinds of rewards are most likely to overcome inertia and get people to participate in referral programs. Just like it says at the top, cash is king, right? Whether the reward gets paid directly into people's bank accounts, PayPal accounts, or debit cards, people want cash rewards. There are a couple of exceptions. Gen Z's heads can be turned by digital subscriptions to services like Spotify or Netflix or video gaming platforms, Xbox Live, PlayStation Plus, Steam. And over 60s are really into gift cards. Now, from our experience, gift cards remain the most common type of reward offered in referral programs today. Part of that is due to technology. Until platforms like Buyapowa came along, offering just about any imaginable reward type, gift cards were the easiest things to procure and distribute. But look at the data. If your brand isn't oriented to older customers, offering nothing but gift cards could be a big mistake. So far, we've been focused on the cut across generations, but for this one, let's take a different look at the data and explore how things vary across different countries. We focused on 5 key territories for this study, the 5 biggest markets for referral worldwide: Canada, France, Spain, the UK and Ireland, and the USA. Once again, cash payments dominate, with some interesting differences. So while here in the British Isles, debit cards are totally where it's at, French people aren't nearly so keen, but like the Spanish, they're open to the idea of free digital subscriptions. Gift cards do actually dominate over in the US, slightly less so as you head north to Canada. But you can see that compared with other countries, bank transfers are less desirable. Now, if your program was global and you wanted to play totally safe without offering any choice and as we'll see later, you should always offer a choice of rewards. PayPal is a really solid bet wherever it's accepted. All right, we've looked at what types of rewards work best, but how about their worth? This time around, we asked people what value of reward they would expect to receive for referring or for transacting if they got a referral from a friend. Now, this is relative to the value of the transaction. So, if Dave recommends Nike to Maggie and Maggie spends $100 on a pair of trainers, how much should they each get as a reward? The number we got back was actually more modest than I personally expected. It averaged at about, let's look for all ages, 20% of the transaction value. And that's actually in line with the value of rewards we see brands offering today. But it is a warning too. If you think 5 or 10% is going to cut it, especially if you're selling to younger people who expect nearer 30% each way. Now, the numbers you can see in the circles are medians, but we've also plotted the maximum and the minimum percentages that people told us, leaving out the outliers. And these are really revealing too. Some Gen Zers expect anywhere up to 85% of the value of the transaction. And that seems a lot. But remember, this is the subscription generation, where smaller recurring payments are increasingly common. Boomers, much less demanding, with some of them only expecting 2% of the value of a transaction. But again, consider the context. These are people who are much more likely to be making big but infrequent purchases, property, vehicles, expensive holidays, etc. Right. How does that expectation vary from country to country? Well, straight away, sweet, humble, greedless, beautiful Canada jumps right out with a median expectation of just 15% and a minimum of about 5%. France tops the table with a 27% median, while Spain and the US, as the US, coming at the same kind of level we saw before in the kind of low 20s. So the key takeaway, be careful not to underplay things in France, where there's a real keen eye for value. Everywhere else start at 20%, maybe 30% for younger customers, and adjust from there. Okay, earlier on, I said we were going to take a look at reward choices. Here's why it's so important. Until recently, it was super common for brands just to offer one reward in their referral programs, and often the same thing for both referrers and friends, right? Get your friends to shop at brand X and you'll both get a $10 Amazon voucher. But technology like the Buyapowa platform has really moved things on in the last few years, and it's allowed brands to give people a choice of reward. So yes, a £10 Amazon voucher, or a free month of Netflix, or a ticket to a movie, or a cash payment straight into your bank account. So we ask people, where a choice of reward is available, how many options should there be? Just 2, 3, 4, or more than 5? And across all generations, 3 to 4 seems to be the sweet spot. There's something for everyone. But you can see how small those kind of mid-blue 2s are, right? It's not enough. It's a choice, but it's a limited choice. And that basically defeats the purpose. This one is fascinating. It's a little depressing, but it's fascinating. For years, people have debated how the pot should be divvied up between referrers and the friends who transact following a referral. Should it be 50-50? Should the person who refers get half and the person who transacts gets half? Should it be 75-25? How should you do the split, right? Should you skew things to the friend because that will ensure as many conversions as possible? Or should brands be treating referral like they treat paid media, right? Where referrals are essentially inventory, getting all of the marketing budget. If you're interested in this topic, check out a study I did a couple of years ago into the psychology of referral. It's fascinating stuff, but this is what the real world customers say. And broadly speaking, 50-50 does seem to be the way to go. But there's a definite trend as you go from Gen Z to millennials to Gen X to boomers. The older you get, the less selfish people become, and the more it's enough for referrers just to tip their friends off to something cool. In fact, once you get to my age, taking care of your friends actually becomes more important than taking care of yourself. So it's worth factoring that in, depending on the kind of audience you are selling to. Okay, we spoke about gift cards before, popular with the boomers everywhere, big in the States, and still by far the most common reward type in use today. But what kind of gift cards really motivate people to refer their friends or accept a referral? We could break it down into the 13 different categories we see used most frequently. The results are really interesting. Big marketplaces like Amazon and eBay dominate across all ages, and that is to be expected. When it comes to gift cards, people either want something they can't justify buying for themselves, or they want something they're definitely going to use. And big marketplaces totally fit that second category, right? Whatever you want, you're going to find it at Amazon. You can see that supermarket and grocery performs well too, especially with boomers, who also value restaurant gift cards. Look, essentially, if it feeds them, boomers are well up for it. Gen Z's into food too, but only if it's delivered to them. They won't leave the house. They're also more into fashion, streaming services, and music. Millennials love their gadgets, but they also want a good night out at the movies or the theatre. My generation, Gen X, is the one most likely to want a gift card they can use at a department store. Now, internationally, Spanish people want that super broad choice, Amazon or eBay. Canadians far less into that, preferring supermarkets, electronic retailers, and restaurants. Over in the US, department stores and music subscriptions perform best, while us Brits and our Irish cousins were a bit like boomers, actually, in general, favouring anything food-related. Supermarkets, restaurants, food delivery services. Some of the options that we had here were surprisingly unappreciated across the board. Taxi and rideshare services, for example, only trace enthusiasm there. That might be because our survey covered people living in both cities and less populated areas, and obviously Uber's not going to get you very far in rural Oregon. Fitness and well-being also underperformed outside of mainland Europe, so maybe people don't want treats that are good for them. It's definitely something that you might want to think about. So what do people want when it comes to gift cards? Here is a giant word cloud featuring the most popular brands that people cited in all countries, all ages. As you'll see from the big names right there in the middle, some brands dominate. Amazon, Netflix, Disney+, Walmart. It absolutely makes sense to offer these brands if gift cards are part of your reward mix. But it isn't just about size, it's about variety. Look how lots and lots of smaller brands make up the majority of the real estate here. Primark and Tenpin and Temu and Kohl's and Tidal and so on. So what does that tell us? Well, it's all about choice. If at all possible, give referrers and their friends a big, broad choice. That way you're far more likely to offer something that inspires them to share or to transact. We can, of course, look at this across generations. Just like before, Amazon and Netflix totally dominate with Disney+, featuring, I think, in every age group, yeah. But there are definitely differences between young and old here. Gen Z are much more likely to be inspired by gaming gift cards, while once again, those boomers sure do love to eat. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think the reason millennials and Gen X want McDonald's gift cards is because they're likely to have younger families. And as I know from bitter experience, if you want the trash taking out and you want the bedroom tidied, it's amazing what Happy Meal can do. Also, your mum wants to watch the Frasier reboot on Paramount Plus. Just saying. Okay, finally, internationally, Amazon, 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 Amazon all the way. But just like you'd expect, there are some big local differences. Tim Hortons, national institution in Canada. It's no wonder that Canadian referrers will do anything for one of those donuts. There is the likes of Fnac in France and El Corte Inglés in Spain. No surprise there. But also AliExpress, which like Temu is becoming increasingly popular worldwide. Local supermarkets and pharmacies seem to dominate in the UK and Ireland. Asda, Tesco, Boots, Morrisons. So it's useful to keep that in mind if you're operating reward or referral programs in the British Isles. And of course, there's Walmart right across North America, retail juggernaut. There's always front and center in people's minds when it comes to rewards they are actually going to use. So that's it. That's a very, very top level view of our findings from this groundbreaking piece of research. There is a lot more detail I would have loved to have gone into today. Obviously, our time is limited, but trust me, I am the proud possessor of the biggest spreadsheet I have ever seen. And myself and the data team at Buyapowa, we're going to bring you a lot more findings over the coming weeks and months. So stay tuned to our socials where you will get all the latest intel. That is it from me. I really hope you found this useful. I'm going to hand you back to Gideon to wrap things up. Thanks ever so much.
Thanks, Robin. That was epic, mate. I really appreciate you making complex themes and findings appear so simple. So, how do we ensure that our clients pick the best rewards for their marketing campaigns? Well, firstly, we understand the importance of data. With over a decade of data spanning thousands of campaigns, we've refined our methods to science. We analyze this treasure trove of information to understand customer preferences and market trends deeply. This isn't merely academic, it's actionable intelligence that drives decision-making. But data alone doesn't give us the full picture. That's where artificial intelligence comes in. Our predictive analytics and AI algorithms work in synergy with our data. They help us anticipate customer behavior, predict trends, and ultimately choose rewards that not only delight, but also convert. And don't worry, when we say AI, we mean it's designed to supercharge your campaign, not replace human intuition. Third up, market research. Data tells you what is happening, but market research, as you've just seen, tells you why. Our team of experts conducts exhaustive market studies, focus groups, and competitor analyses. This helps us understand the motivations, preferences, and pain points of your customer base. So when we recommend a reward, we're not throwing darts in the dark. We're making an educated choice aimed directly at your target market's bullseye. Last, but certainly not least, our in-house industry-specific expertise. Our team isn't just composed of tech whizzes. We also have seasoned veterans from a range of sectors: telecoms, insurance, energy, retail, FS, online gaming, you name it. These experts bring to the table decades of experience in crafting reward packages that resonate within specific industries. That means higher engagement and, you guessed it, better ROI. In plain English, when you partner with Buyapowa, you're not just throwing rewards into the wind and hoping they stick. You're making data-driven, research-backed, industry-specific choices that are tailored to the rest of your marketing needs. So, if you're in the business of not just meeting but exceeding your marketing goals, let's talk. We've got the data, we've got the AI, the market research, and the sector-specific expertise to elevate your campaigns from ordinary to extraordinary. Thank you, and let's drive those results.